Hey y'all, I have a little bit of a gripe to share, to vent as a way of telling a story that happened to me yesterday. Winds and change are blowing, moving into the fall season. Oh, it's very exciting. Two-part story, observation that I've been having, we've been speaking about, a real-time story that unfolded yesterday with an example of this, and then just an analogy. I mean, I'm not a musician. I do use my voice. I do sing, love singing. I don't play any instruments yet. I do bang some drums. Yesterday I arrived at our local grocery store called Ray's, and there was a woman laying on the ground, kind of unresponsive, and there was a man and a woman, it seemed to be a couple, hovering over her, and I thought, fuck, do you guys need some support? Do you need some help? Obviously there's something amiss. And they had gleaned that this woman was a diabetic. I'm like, okay, got it. She's probably passed out, low blood sugar. I'm gonna go inside and get some orange juice. And the guy, I said to them, I'm gonna go and get something, I'll be right back. Go get some juice, I think I said, be right back. And the guy was like, can you get some water? I'm like, dude, that's not gonna do it. It's not gonna do it. I'm in the store, every checkout line has like 5 people in it. I'm like, I can't wait for this juice. There's a crisis outside. And I steal this orange juice. I very boldly go to the back, grab the Simply Made orange juice, walk out with it, and I'm approaching this woman on the ground and this couple that's hovering over her. And at this point, maybe 2 more people had arrived. Another gentleman, the man takes the juice from me. I bend down. I mean, for those of you who don't know me, I've been a hospice nurse. This kind of scene is not new to me. This kind of scene is where I thrive. This kind of scene is where something in me gets real focused, real still, super intuitive, very protective, very attuned to the person that is vulnerable and at risk. It's just been my way, and it's where I've been of service to the highest degree for years and years and years. Nobody knows this. You can't tell this by looking at me, but I'm bending down. Her head is still on the cement. I scoop it up, have my hand under her head, and rotate her into a seated position. I'm squatting down. I got my leg up behind her back. She can rest into my left leg. I've got my legs around her. I've got my arm around her. This guy who's come on scene, he's chit-chatting. I'm taking action. He's verbalizing. I'm a nurse. We got to make sure that she doesn't aspirate. While he's narrating all this, I'm actually doing it, performing it. Just it's happening quite naturally. The man who had taken the juice, check out this bird. I don't know if you can see this. Oh, man. Oh, so beautiful. So filming outside. I get so distracted by the beauty. God, these birds, such incredible companions. The juice went from my hand into this woman's hand. She's already holding it while this guy who's coming on to the scene narrating, we got to make sure that she can drink it on her own, because if she aspirates, we're going to have a whole nother situation on our hands. I'm just like, dude, I don't think we need all this. It's obvious to one level, to an intuitive level, like me and this woman are already simpatico. I'm already pulling the hair from out of her face. She's already putting the juice, she's holding it on her own up to her mouth. It's clear that she's going to be able to do it, right? She knows she needs it. She's a fucking diabetic. This guy's identifying, well, I'm a nurse. And I said to him, I'm a nurse too. I'm the one who got the juice. This is my gripe. This is my judgment. This is my ego chatting with you right now, clearing this out of my system. And then he says, oh, well, fine, you got this under control. And he exits and goes into the store, right? She's drinking the juice. It takes less than 5 minutes for our local paramedics to arrive. She's got this tab on the back of her arm. They get access to her smartphone. They read her blood sugar. She's less than 50. She's definitely in crisis. But by the time she finishes the juice, I'm still squatting holding her. She's at least oriented to who she is and where she is. She doesn't really know much else, and very disoriented, but she's aware her purse is not close to her, and she's making requests, and she's coming back to it. Now, this is my observation and complaint and something for your consideration, because we all are these powerful, energetic beings, and we all have gifts. We all have skills. We all have ways in which we want to play together or bring our gifts and play in whatever spaces that we arrive into. My complaint is that so few people that I notice pause when they enter a conversation, a space, a room, a situation, to see and feel what is actually already happening. What's already happening here? And how do I want to be in it? How do you want to be in it? What do you bring into it? You've heard me say that before. What do you bring into it? What can you contribute? Is it going to be harmonious? Is it going to be chaotic? Do you mean for it to be trouble? Do you mean to be a jester? Do you mean to mix up the energy? Do you mean to shift it radically? Some players can do that quite skillfully. Those are masters. Those are masters. I'm thinking about jazz musicians. I'm thinking about musicians. I'm thinking about musicians in general, because you know what they do? They listen. They listen. They have to listen. I'm imagining the best musicians have the keenest ear. Now, I know some amazing sound engineers that have better ears than musicians, for sure. Shout out to one of my exes. Love you, love your ears. And this is problematic. We're not listening. We are not listening. We're not listening to ourselves. We're not listening to each other. We're not listening to the space. We're not listening to the environment. We're not listening to the music that's already being played when we arrive to the party. And so maybe you don't like it. Can you just settle in, tune into that part in you, and decide, what do you want to do about it? Do you want to dance on your edge? Are you going to make a scene? Are you going to, throw over the record player? What are you going to do? My complaint is that people are arriving on the scene and they're inserting their energetics without listening to what is already being played. And it's not cool. It doesn't sound good. It's all very egoic. It takes a lot of humility to step into a situation and listen and be quiet. It means I'm curious about what's happening here, and I'm curious how who and what I am might benefit, might participate, might play, might co-create with what's already happening. It means that I don't know best when I come into a scene. It means I'm not going to try to educate you about something that I don't already know that you have or don't have access to. Humility is part of the game. It's part of the next level. Do you want to get to the next level? If you want to get to the next level, which is way more harmonious than maybe the level that you're playing out, my love, you're going to have to eat a little humble pie. You're going to have to learn to listen to the other players that are in your space, whether you like it or not. The woman who passed out yesterday, she's okay. She's going to be okay. My ego is a little bit like, meh, with this dude who came on the scene who started chit-chatting instead of taking action. Noticing that the remedy was already on scene. It was already blossoming in front of him. He didn't notice it. Musicians, God, they have their own quirks, but they listen to one another. They listen for the spaces, and they listen how they might contribute. And I think we can all take note. Take a note. How might you contribute? Can you be more mindful about it? I love you so much. I want to hear what you have to say. And when we're in shared space, I'd like to know that you can respect my spirit enough to maybe tune in to what music I'm already playing. Take good care. Let's play really well together.